In that game, Clark scored her 103-point shot this season, becoming just the sixth woman to do so and first in her rookie season. Any kind of critique of Caitlin Clark, because that gives fodder to those who believe she's being hated on and ostracized to some degree. You know basketball better than me. You know basketball than any of the pundits. You know basketball better than most of the men that play basketball.
Before we continue, I would like to ask you a quick favor. Did you know that Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever games averaged over 900,000 viewers this season? That's more than some NBA games. But here's the worst part. The Fever may have to decide between keeping Clark's supporting cast and safeguarding future draft picks. Please take a moment to like this video if you enjoy this content. Did you click this subscribe button? If so, thank you very much. Let's go back to the video. Over 98% of you view the videos without subscribing, which costs nothing but makes a big difference for us. Because we're delving into the statistics and scenarios that could make or break the Fever's future picture. The expansion draft is forcing them to make some difficult decisions. They can only protect 6 players, and every decision they make could affect those viewer numbers and, more importantly, their chances of winning a championship. Caitlin Clark is burning, lighting up the scoreboard like it's July 4th, but the Indiana Fever are sweating bullets because they have a huge problem. The team can only keep 6 players. That's right, just 6, so who stays and who leaves is like musical chairs. But let's break it down. Kelsey Mitchell, the veteran who has been with the team through thick and thin and has seen more ups and downs than a roller coaster, has been the team's heart and soul, putting up strong numbers year after year. But here's the kicker. She's not getting any younger, and her contract isn't getting any cheaper.
Any kind of critique of Caitlin Clark, because that gives fodder to those who believe she's being hated on and ostracized to some degree. But despite the attendance and viewership records, there seems to be some haterade in the league. My WNBA Player of the Week, surprise, surprise, Indiana Fever rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark. There's nothing really to say of it. Caitlin Clark became the first ever rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double twice in the same season.
How about Lexi Hull share a tale about a zero to hero? It's been hotter than a summer day in Indiana, and this girl went from warming the bench to lighting it up with her 3-point shooting. The coaches and spectators like her, but will that be enough to keep her safe? The front office of Fever is having so much trouble deciding whether to remain with Mitchell's expertise or take a chance on Hull's promise. It's like having to choose between a dependable old automobile and a sleek new sports model. Both has advantages and disadvantages. They may even need helmets. This is when things start to become pretty chaotic, since every decision the Fever takes affects their pay cap. The most absurd thing is that we haven't even discussed Caitlin Clark yet. Will the Fever protect her? Of course it will, but what does that mean for the rest of the team? Keeping Clark is obvious, but it will also take up a significant portion of that salary cap. One bad move and they're broke, with no money for free agents and no money to entice the next big star. It's like playing chess, but the pieces are real people with real careers on the line. The Fever has more difficult decisions to make than a child in a candy store with just $1. Who else is on the hot seat? Remember Melissa Smith's raw talent and crazy athleticism, but it's about as reliable as a weather forecast. The Fever is in a real pickle with her. Keep her and risk those wild swings in performance, or let her go and watch her become a superstar somewhere else. What's even more bizarre is that the Golden State Valkyries and Portland Pilots are watching the Fever like hawks, and these new teams are prepared to sign any player. Unprotected Indiana leaves are like people crowding a smorgasbord, waiting for the good things to happen. Let's take a moment to discuss Smith. This lady has incredible potential shifting abilities here, but the entire front office is having more migraines from her ups and downs than from a math test. They can't afford to lose her, though.
My cold open, but I'm going to mention it now, and that's Caitlin Clark herself of the WNBA. Let's get to the WNBA. In that game, Clark scored her 103-point shot this season, becoming just the sixth woman to do so and first in her rookie season. Clark and the Fever currently lead the WNBA in average game attendance and per game TV viewership. You know basketball better than me. You know basketball than any of the pundits. You know basketball better than most of the men that play basketball. To be as accomplished as she is, to be the Hall of Famer that she is, all the speculation that there's folks hating on Caitlin Clark. That's all she did. Reality is, it didn't happen to this level until Caitlin Clark showed up.
You understand why, if they do, she may be the crucial component of a transaction that backfires. But wait, there's still more drama. Veterans like Erica Wheeler and Tiffany Mitchell are also on the chopping block. These women have experienced both the good and the bad, as well as everything in between. You understand how crucial that kind of experience is for a young team. It's like having a GPS when you're lost in a new city. The Fever is facing a difficult decision: stick with the veterans who know the ropes or take a chance on young talent with sky-high potential. It's not just about talent, it's about assembling a cohesive team. Teams like the Seattle Storm have done it well. They have the ideal balance of seasoned pros and up-and-comers. Rumor has it that the Valkyries are looking for players who can contribute immediately, which is further pressuring the Fever to make the correct decisions. The idea that Kelsey Mitchell, the team's heart and soul, may be wearing another jersey next season, is she staying or leaving, is what's truly keeping everyone up at night. It's like playing chess, but the pieces keep changing form. The Fever must make a decision quickly since time is running out, and they must act before it's too late, failing which they risk having their opportunity to establish a dynasty pass them by. Let's conclude. The Indiana Fever are at a crossroads, and every move they make now could either lead to disaster or the creation of a dynasty. It's crazy to think about it, because their decisions aren't just about keeping players, they're also sending a message about what kind of team Indiana wants to be. Are they sticking with the veterans who have been through the trenches? Or are they going all in on youth and potential with Clark and Boston? Or are they sticking with the veterans? The future of the Fever is hanging by a thread, and fans are waiting impatiently to see if they make the right decisions and set themselves up for years of success, or will they fumble their chance at greatness? You know what's crazy? These decisions could change the entire WNBA. Imagine if the Fever build a super team around Clark. They could dominate for years, but if they mess this up, they might be stuck in mediocrity for a long time. The pressure is on, and the entire league is watching. What do you think the Fever should do?